Section 3.1, Graphing Linear Equations, Part 3. All we're doing in this equation is solving for y, so we just want to get y by itself. First thing we do is we subtract x on both sides. So that's 2y is equal to negative x plus 4. Always write your x first. Then divide everything by 2. So that's a negative 1x, and we write it as a fraction, and we center x. So negative x over 2, the way we write that is saying negative 1/2 x, and we center the x. Please do not write the x in the denominator. Be very careful about that. The x is centered. It's more in the numerator than the denominator, but if you write it like this, I'll have to mark it wrong. Plus 4 divided by 2 is 2, and that is the equation solved for y. Example 3b, negative 3 plus 2y is equal to negative 5. There is no x, so we're just going to solve for y. So we add 3 to both sides. We get 2y is equal to negative 5 plus 3 is a negative 2. Divide both sides by 2. So y is equal to negative 1. Now, if the question was graph this, that's one of those special graphs where it would be a horizontal line at negative y, at negative 1. They didn't ask you to graph this, but if they did, that's what it would look like. We would not need to make a table or anything like that. 3c, we're going to solve for y, so we're going to subtract 3x on both sides. So that's negative 4y is equal to negative 3x plus 8. Divide everything by negative 4. So negative divided by negative is a positive 3/4 x. Again, make sure you center the x. Positive 8 divided by negative 4 is a negative 2. Example 3d, there's only an x, there's not a y, so we can't solve for y, we would have to solve for x. So we're going to add 3. So that's 5x is equal to 15. Kind of running out of room, so I'm going to rewrite it right here. Divide both sides by 5. So x is equal to 3. Now, if I ask you to graph this, that's a special graph. Again, there is no table. It is just simply a vertical line at 3. Example 4a, solve for y and graph by making a table. So we're going to subtract 2x on both sides. So we get negative 3y is equal to negative 2x plus 6. Now we're going to divide everything by a negative 3. Be very careful. It's always divide by whatever you're multiplying y by. So it's y is equal to negative divided by negative is a positive 2/3 x. Positive 6 divided by negative 3 is a negative 2. And there's the equation. Now, maybe so now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to pick negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, because anytime you have a fraction, if you have a fraction in front of x, the coefficient of x is a fraction, pick multiples of the denominator. Pick multiples of the denominator. That's an abbreviation, denominator. So what are multiples of 3? 3, 6, 9, 12, and you want to pick two negatives, 0 and two positives. So I am going to pick -6, -3, 0, 3, and 6. So that's 2 over 3 times -6 over 1 minus 2. We are going to cross reduce. 3 goes into -6 and -2. So 2 times -2 is a -4, minus 2 is a -6. 2 over 3 times -3 over 1 minus 2. So the 3's go into -3, -1. So 2 times a -1 is a -2, and then minus 2 is a -4. 2/3 times 0 is 0, minus 2 is 2. 2 over 3 times 3 over 1 minus 2. The 3's cancel into 1, so 2 times 1 is 2, minus 2 is 0. And then 2 over 3 times 6 over 1 minus 2. 3 goes into 6 2 times, so 2 times 2 is 4, minus 2 is 2. Make sure you label your x and y axis and plot your points. Okay, now I had made an error right there a minute ago. It said -2. I forgot to put my negative sign. Alright, then draw your line through all the points. Make sure you draw your line past the points and put arrows. Example 4b, we're going to solve for y and graph by making a table. So we're going to subtract 3x on both sides. So that's 2y is equal to -3x plus 8. Divide by 2. So y is equal to -3/2 x plus 4. Okay, now again, I have a fraction in front of x, so I'm not going to pick -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. I'm going to pick multiples of the denominator. Multiples of 2, -4, -2, 0, 2, 4. Now you could pick other numbers. Other multiples of 2 are 6, 8, -6, 8. I kind of like to keep them small. So -3 over 2 times -4 over 1 plus 4. 2 goes into -4 -2 times. So -3 times a -2 is a positive 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. -3 over 2 times -2 over 1 plus 4. So the 2 goes into -2, -1. Now be careful when you cancel it out, make sure you recopy the -1. -3 times a -1 is a positive 3 plus 4 is 7. And -3/4 times 0 is 0. So 0 plus 4 is 4. -3 over 2 times 2 over 1 plus 4. The 2's cancel, so we get a 1. So -3 times 1 is a -3 plus 4 is 1. Okay, 2 goes into 4 2 times. So -3 times 2 is a -6 plus 4 is a -2. Okay, now we're ready to plot these points. So draw your x and y axis. Plot your points. Oh, I'm off. I didn't plot that point right. Notice that my points did not line up, so I know I've done something wrong. Okay, a minute ago my points didn't line up, so I knew I did something wrong, so I went and looked, and sure enough, I plotted wrong. Okay, example 4C, we're going to subtract 2x on both sides. So negative 5y is equal to negative 2x plus 10. Divide by negative 5. So that's y is equal to 2/5 x plus 2. Okay, I'm going to pick multiples of 5. And 5 is a multiple of 5. So I'm going to pick negative 10, negative 5, 0, 5, and 10. 2 over 5 times negative 10 over 1 plus 2. So 5 goes into negative 10, negative 2. 2 times negative 2 is a negative 4, plus 2 is a negative 2. 2 over 5 times negative 5 over 1 plus 2. 5 goes in negative 5, negative 1. So 2 times negative 1 is a negative 2, plus 2 is 0. 2/5 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. 2/5 times 5 over 1 plus 2. 5 goes into 5 one time, so 2 times 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4. Oops. Two over 5 times 10 over 1 plus 2. 5 goes into 10, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Plot your points. Okay, I think I might have forgot to hit the record button a minute ago, but here's the equation. The zoo charges $10 for admissions before 5 and $5 after 5. Let x represents the number before 5 and y is the number after 5. So there's the equation. 10x plus 5y is equal to 2,000. Find your x and y intercepts. Now the x-axis stands for the admissions before 5 o'clock. So you need to, anytime you're dealing with word problems and you're dealing with graphs, you always need to label. ADM stands for admissions, abbreviation. Admissions before 5. And the Y stands for the admissions after 5. Now you can count, you can decide what to count by. I think I'm going to count by 25s. So, but I'm going to label every other graph. So this is 50, this is 100, 150, 200. And then I'm going to count, I can't count by 25s on my y-axis because I won't be able to get to 400. So I'm going to count by 50s. But I'm going to label every other one just because if you start labeling every one, it gets a little messy and hard to read. So 0, 400 is right here. And then 200, 0 is right here. Now when we draw our line, we just extend the 2 points. We will not have arrows because if you have arrows, that means it goes in the negative quadrants. And there's no such thing as negative money or negative people attending the zoo. Example 5B, the JP2 Student Council sells garters and mums for homecoming. They charge, $60 for garters and $100 for the mums. They earned a total of $15,000. Write an equation that represents the number of garters and mums that may have been sold. X represents the number of garters, and Y represents the number of mums. Shouldn't be sold after 5 p.m. It's just the number of represents the mums. Okay, so garter stands for X. So how many garters did we sell? We don't know, X. But how much did each one go for? $60. So that's 60X. Plus, the Y stands for the moms. How much did each mom go for? 100. Let me scoot this over. Okay, again, we could make a solve for y, make a table, but I think finding the x and y intercept is a whole lot faster. To find the y-intercept, you let x equal 0. So 60 times 0 is 0, so that's 100y is equal to 15,000. Divide by 100, so y is equal to 150. Then to find the x-intercept, you let y equal 0. So that 60 is equal to 15,000. When I divide by 60, oh, that's 60x. Sorry, I'm kind of running out of room. And that's 250. Okay, so X stands for the number of garters. I'm kind of running out of room here. And Y stands for the number of moms. Now, I think I'm going to count by 25. So I'm going to label every other one again. Obviously, I need more room. My panel doesn't give me more room, but you have graph paper, so you'll have more room on the graph paper. So 0, 150 is right here, and 250, 0 is right here. And there's your graph.